Lancer currently holds the overall historical lead with 112 wins over Omnic. It's interesting because that long-term success usually makes him the favorite, but he's actually struggled quite a bit recently. We'll see if he can translate that career edge into this specific set. Lancer is comfortably in control with a 2-1 lead. Omnic has been lighting things up in his most recent 10. Lancer is really starting to push the pace here and putting some serious pressure on Omnic. The higher ranked player is struggling to get a footing here. Omnic was way too quick on that one, just sweeping Lancer right off the wine. He's entered this server with a fair bit of confidence. Lancer is stretching the lead to a 4-2 advantage. A tough break for a player who's really been dominating his latest outings. Lancer is really shaking off that poor start to the day where he sat at 926 in his last few matches. It's proving that he can flip the script even when his recent momentum looks bleak. He's definitely starting to reclaim his footing here. A tight trade of shots here, but Omnic comes out on top. Lancer usually comes out on top in this pairing. Lancer is just run away with a commanding 7-3 lead. The higher rated player is definitely feeling the heat right now. Lancer is simply cruising along with an 8-3 grip. That's a total flip from their 1916 clash on red line. Lancer takes a huge 9-3 lead into the break. Well, this is exactly what the analysts predicted. He's using his superior map knowledge on Italy to keep Omnic completely off balance. Omnic really needs to wake up. Lancer is just ruthless now, sitting pretty at 10-3. A surprising run of things for the lower rated man here. Lancer is just dismantling him right now, moving closer to a quick finish. He's clearly fighting an uphill battle against the higher rated man. Omnic is putting up a fight, but it's going to take more than a couple of rounds to claw back from this deficit. Omnic had no trouble taking that fight, just quickly deleting Lancer right off the wine. His higher rank is definitely starting to show now. The tide is turning as he holds a 3-round lead in this sequence. That's exactly the kind of form he's been showing across his last 10. He's completely stopped the bleeding, securing another win to keep the streak alive. His higher ranking is really showing in these later stages. He's simply unstoppable right now, punishing Lancer right off the wine for a 5th straight. Incredible, he just keeps stacking them up with another huge play to make it 6 straight. And he halts the momentum completely, putting himself just a single point away from victory. What a way to stay in this. Omnic refuses to go quietly, keeping his hopes alive. Unreal! Lancer seals the deal with a perfect final spray to take the victory. Omnic almost pulled off something special with that crazy comeback attempt, but he just couldn't close the door. What a match. Zeth holds a clear historical advantage here, having won 52% of their lifetime meetings, but Omnic is fighting to prove that those past numbers don't matter today. We'll see if he can claw back into this one. We're totally deadlocked now with Zeth and Omnic tied. These two are almost identical in the ladder rankings. Unbelievable. He survives a chaotic trade with barely anything left in the tank to take a lead. He's just on fire right now, putting Zeth in his place with a perfect shot. He's looking much sharper than in that recent loss to Lancer. Zeth answers back immediately with a sharp reaction to tighten the gap. What a fight! He clings to the lead by a thread after that absolute war of attrition. Zeth is normally the one controlling the pace in these meetings. Omnic is really starting to stack up the wins, and that high ground advantage just made it look easy. His recent win on Blame Dunes definitely gave him a confidence boost. He's just totally outclassing his opponent right now, extending this hot streak to 3. His recent victory against Zeth on Dunes gave him some huge momentum. Zeth puts an end to that run with a crisp shot to get back into things. Both of these players are basically deadlocked in the rankings. Zeth has been prolific today, putting up a 25-10 record over the last few hours, but he just isn't converting that form into round wins in this specific series. It's a tough spot to be in when your overall day is going well, but the current match feels like a struggle. We've got a 7-5 lead for Omnic going into the break. Well, Zeth was expected to take this one given his map history, but the roles are reversed right now. He'll need to step up to close the gap. Time for Zeth to make a move. Omnic still has a firm grip with an 8-5 lead. He really seems to have the upper hand tonight. Omnic is dominating, pushing the lead to a commanding 9-5. He's playing with a massive amount of confidence right now. The momentum is shifting slightly. Zeth is making it interesting and refusing to let the match slip away. A really close battle for those two in the rankings. Omnic is cruising now, holding a solid 10-6 advantage. Just a brutal 10-13 loss to Ignis a few hours back for Zeth. Zeth is fighting uphill now, trailing 7-10. He's trying to flip the script from that last match they played. Omnic is really putting on a show, quickly shutting down Zeth's attempt to hold the ramp. He's effectively neutralizing every attempt to push forward. Goodness, what a scramble! Zeth barely scraps through that exchange to keep his hopes alive. That was an absolute nail-biter of a trade. Omnic finds his target again, putting him just a single round away from victory. Zeth manages to secure a crucial point, keeping this duel alive for now. He needed a win there to keep the pressure on. That's it! Omnic finishes him off with a perfect shot to seal the series. He really played the long game today and came out on top. Just a huge statement victory to bring Zeth typically puts up huge numbers against his opponent, having won over 60% of their total head-to-head clashes. It's clear he's under a bit of pressure after a tough few hours of play. We'll see if he can shake off that slump and find his form early. Lancer is absolutely tearing through the early stages of this match, sweeping through the first three. This is a total role reversal from their last encounter. Zeth finds his footing, shutting the door from the ramp to get back in this. The favorite is starting to push back. Zeth just picks him off the boxes to bring the score to 3-2. The top tier skill level we expected from the favorite is showing. Goodness, what a scrap. Lancer somehow survives that trade-off from the ramp with barely anything left. A big turnaround for him after those tough results earlier today. The resilience is starting to show as he pulls the score back to 4-3. His skill level is really starting to bleed through. Unbelievable. He manages to claw his way back to a dead heat after that brutal exchange. An absolute bloodbath of a round to keep the deadlock. The momentum has completely shifted. He's now cruising with a 3-round streak. Zeth is looking a lot more like the player the oddsmakers expect. Zeth earns another one from the ramp, really starting to tilt the scales in his favor. Absolutely ruthless precision on display. He shuts that down fast to keep things close, heading into the final round of the half. That was an incredibly crisp exchange to get the round back. It's 7-5 for Zeth. Well, the underdog is holding his ground despite the pre-match noise. He's leaning on that historical edge here to keep Lancer at bay for now. Let's see who handles the switch better. Zeth edges out the battle on the ramp, continuing his climb back into this match. He's starting to separate himself as the gap widens. Zeth manages to pick him off the ramp and continues his surge toward a double-digit lead. Lancer's chances are slipping away by the second. Lancer has actually won about 48% of his matches on this specific map, and while his overall record today has been quite difficult, he's showing some real grit here. It will be interesting to see if he can use that consistency to claw back into the game. That was a gritty battle for both of them on the ramp, but he manages to outlast Lancer. Lancer just couldn't find a way to close that out. Zeth secures another effortless duel from the ramp to stretch his lead to 4. He's certainly making a case for that high seed today. Lancer is refusing to go quietly. He's fighting back to keep this within striking distance. That was a lightning-fast reaction to get back into the mix. Pure precision there to secure another lead. Just one more round to end it. Lancer's consistency in previous games has kept him competitive despite the gap. What a finish! Zeth shuts the door to secure the victory. Lancer fought a great battle today, but he just can't seem to find an answer for that style of play.